I'm Sihle Zikalala, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal. We commemorate Africa Day each year on the 25th of May as our commitment to attain a united and prosperous African continent. It was on this day in 1963 that the Organization of African Unity was formed, and it later became the African Union. Through the African Union, Africa has crafted Agenda 2063 to conquer the legacy of the past and build a prosperous continent. We must all rally behind the implementation of the Agenda 2063, which remains Africa's blueprint for development. Agenda 2063 is a plan to attain a prosperous Africa based on inclusive economic growth and sustainable development. An integrated continent, politically united and based on the ideals of the Pan-Africanism and the vision of Africa's Renaissance. An Africa of good governance, democracy, respect for human rights, justice, and the rule of law. A peaceful and a secured Africa. An Africa with a strong cultural identity, common heritage, shared values and ethics. An Africa whose development is people-driven, depending on the potential of African people, especially its women and youth, and caring for children. An Africa as strong and united, an influential global player and partner. Fellow compatriot, on the 13th of June 1994, addressing heads of state and government, former President Nelson Mandela had this to say, and I quote, "Africa shed her blood and surrendered the lives of her children so that all her children could be free. She gave of her limited wealth and resources so that all of Africa should be liberated." Close quote. In line with this call, day by day, the people of Africa are fulfilling the mission of building a united and prosperous continent for themselves. One of the significant decisions taken by the African Union was the establishment of an African continental free trade area to boost intra-Africa trade. As South Africa, through the declaration we have made in the National Development Plan, we have committed ourselves to achieving a united and prosperous continent. Through this declaration we say, and I quote, "Who are we? We are an African country. We are part of our multinational regions. We are an essential part of our continent. We have learned a great deal from our complex past, adding continuously to our experience of being an African." Close quote. Therefore, time for divisions and conflict among African people must be proscribed to the waste bin of history. Nowhere in our continent should an African grow in self-hate and promote Afrophobia. The children of Africa must grow up knowing our shared history and common destiny. Families, schools and universities, and the trade unions movement should play a special role in teaching an African history and to inculcate a Pan-African consciousness among our people. On this Africa Day, let us commit to strive for the betterment of Africa wherever we are. As we say in the AU anthem, let us make Africa the tree of love. May God bless Africa, her sons and daughters.